Hey there, everybody, and welcome back. For those of you that are looking to get into the app building world, or maybe you're already in it, but you're looking to build some mobile apps for iOS and Android using a codeless development platform, well, stay tuned. Today we're going to be doing a Goodbarber.com review. So before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe and check out the channel for new content. All right, so jumping straight in, today's video is going to be broken down into 3 different steps. First up, we're going to cover pricing, then we're going to cover the website and features and a couple of use cases, and then we're going to actually jump into the platform and build an app ourselves. So jumping straight in, we're over at goodbarber.com. So we can see that we have quite a few different notes or different things scrolling through, but we'll get to that in a moment. First up is pricing. Now, there are ways to get this platform to be a little bit cheaper. So what we're going to do is we're going to click See Details so that we can see the different pricing options. So you'll see starting at monthly, these rates are going to be a little bit higher, and you'll see that we have a couple of different packages here. If we go to yearly, you'll see that you'll save a little bit of money there, and then you'll see that we do have a couple of one-time payment options as well. So we'll stay in the yearly tab because I think that these prices are much more attractive. So jumping through, you'll see these different monthly packages and then the features that are included. So you'll see we have the PWA technology, Progressive Web App Technology, native technology, and you'll see that once we get to the premium package, we get native for Android and iOS. Then you'll see we have available in Google Play and on the App Store. So for most people, you're going to fall into this premium category because you're likely going to want Google Play and the Apple App Store access or ability to publish to them. In addition to that, we have a couple of other features that are very, very attractive. In this middle category, you're going to get 10 gigs of storage. So you'll see right here, that's going to be really, really useful because depending on what type of app you have, it could be a very media-rich application. Another attractive thing is going to be push notifications. So you'll see the price for extra push notifications here. You'll also see things like staff accounts, number of projects, page views, and bandwidth, which is a really, really big one. You don't want to have issues where users automatically, if they go to the app very frequently, all of a sudden get throttled. So you don't have any issues with that. And you are not limited to downloads, which is a really, really nice portion or feature that some other app builders don't currently have. Now, we're going to go into the extension store because this is something that's really, really unique about Goodbarber. You'll see they have a library of 160 plus extensions. So we'll open this in a new tab, but right now you'll see that you have free extensions. You can choose up to 20, and then you have the abandoned orders, delivery slots, and product import. Then we have a couple of options for the payments, such as 0% transaction fees, and then you can use Stripe and all of these other payment options. And then you'll see the core features, which are basically available on all of these, which include SEO-friendly pages, and then real-time support or real human support, customization or customizable designs, etc. So you can scroll through all of these yourself, but when we go back, you can see more about the individual plans here. So we have content, e-commerce, and reseller. So you can look into those if you feel compelled to do so. So next up, Part 2 is going to be covering different solutions that this platform offers. All right, now one thing I wanted to do a really quick view of, although I will be covering this in greater detail near the end of the video, but one of the things that I think is really attractive about this Goodbarber platform is you have the ability to add in some custom sections. So for example, if we were to go in here, you can see that you can design the menu, manage menu content, and one of the things that you can do here when we go to add a section is you can find a feature that you want to add. Now I'll go into more detail on some of these options later in the video, but for example, right here we have the ability to render a URL or custom code within the application, and you can click Discover to navigate to the actual extension store and browse the various extensions that are available. So let's go ahead and continue on. Now, you'll see that you can request a quote for custom development, but most of my channel is all about covering the ability to do this yourself. So you'll typically be able to choose from different app trends and essential packages here. For example, if we choose e-commerce, then you'll see a couple of different apps typically on the right-hand side showing you sample designs from other platforms or other users, but you can also scroll through and see all of the different features and functionality for this specific app trend. For example, here's an example app here, and you'll see it's made with Goodbarber. And then you'll see as you continue to scroll additional optimization tools and functionality. But if we go to the home page, you can also scroll through here. As you're doing so, you'll see tons of different app types. So you can click Explore All the Solutions, and then basically just continue to scroll through, because there may be something that you need. For example, maybe you need ad networks, or maybe you want WordPress integration. Well, it may not show in your specific category, but that doesn't mean it's not available. So you can continue to scroll through, and if there's something you like, you can always click Test for free, and then get started with that app builder. So one of the benefits to these codeless development platforms, especially when we're looking at the Goodbarber homepage, you'll see that we have this UI UX note here. So in this case, we have the UI and UX, which is much more appealing because you have a drag and drop interface. You're not developing code to actually create these tiles. It's being done in the background. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the Get Started page over at goodbarber.com/create. So what we're going to do, we're going to scroll through and see the different options that we have and see one that looks to be the most appealing. So as I make content on YouTube, it might be something right here that I'm interested in, but you'll see we have tons of different options. So scrolling through, I think the one that's probably going to be the best for me, and that might be the most enjoyable, is going to be the content creator option. And then we'll click Next. Now, from here, you have the ability to choose your theme from a couple of different options. So what we'll do is we'll pick something a little bit lighter. So let's just go with this orange-ish color. Now we have navigation options. So you'll see that you can make changes to this later, which is really nice, but you'll scroll through and see, okay, what do you like the most? So I'm preferable to this option right here. I like that tile view. And next up, you'll put in your app name. So we'll just call this Tyler Talks, and we'll click Next. Now from here, you're going to put in your email address to finish out your account. Excuse me. Now, once you've entered your email address, you'll see that we have the Your App is Ready message. So we're going to go ahead and click Discover It. And now we're going to jump through the app builder itself. Now, what I like is they jump straight into providing you with this functional app that has the pointer that shows that you're basically using this as a kind of like a mobile device. So if I click here, it's going to act as if I actually clicked on travel. So we have, in theory, what our application should look like right now. And you'll see that you can modify the app from the preview. So if you want to, when you click Edit, you can now move or edit these elements. So if I select it, you'll see that we have all of these options here. If I select here, it's going to allow me to actually go to that element. So you'll see when I click the edit option, we can edit the layout of the home page and make some changes here. For example, if we wanted to select this layout instead, you'll see now the home page has changed completely. So we have quite a few different options. So we can look to build something out a little bit differently. So again, you can use this edit menu to edit the style and kind of pick, okay, what are we changing? Where are we going? So we have different button options, button levels. So if you'll see we have level 1 selected. We could also select level 2, level 3, and you have all of these different form field options. You can edit your margins, effects, and then also we have app icons. So you'll see there are tons of different options, and that's just in the element style. That doesn't even include all of these other theme libraries, launch screens, backgrounds, etc. So things like the launch screen I really like, and then we also have the splash screen so we can upload images for Android, iOS, and tablet. So you can actually choose what's going to appear at different stages in the application. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off just by going to our dashboard. And we really want to see what options we have here with Goodbarber. You don't want to build an app if you can't publish where you want to publish. So right now we do have a progressive web app option, an Android option, and an iOS option. So if you wanted to, you could click test your web app and you'll see that we now have a web app that's right here. But we can test the app on Android and then test the app before publishing. So you'll see that we have quite a few different options when we actually go to test it. And you can actually download the My Goodbarber app, and you'll see you can preview the app on your phone or tablet directly. And then if we were to go to iOS, you'll get a very similar option. You download TestFlight, download My Goodbarber, and then you can go through the process of testing it out on your application. But most people are going to want to just use the progressive web app because it's quicker and you can do it straight from your computer. You do also have the ability to switch between different devices. So you'll see we have the phone view, laptop, desktop. So once we've gone through that, you'll see that they have a what's new panel with all these different things that you note with basically just recent releases. We also have video tutorials. They have Goodbarber Academy, and then this watch and learn section. So Goodbarber Academy, you can learn about different types of apps, and you'll see that they have this YouTube channel you can check out and tons of other content, along with different app tutorials. So you'll see if we wanted to learn about how to copy the design of a section, then they have basically just this article and video and other resources as well. You do have the ability to look into the news and the need help section. And now we're going to go to content. So you'll see that there's quite a bit of options here. We have add, content list, comments, and trash can. So we're going to ignore the content for now because one thing that I get asked the most about different platforms is monetization options. Now, your first option for monetization is in-app purchases. You'll see you can install this and then learn more about it. So you can do things like auto-renewable subscriptions, or maybe you want to sell physical products. You can see all of these different options related to how this experience is going to work, and you can learn more about how to actually restrict content. For example, right here, you'll see that you can have restricted content so that users will need to subscribe or pay to get access to specific pages. So if you want to do something like maybe you want to create a fitness app and the free section has a couple of workouts, but then the paid section has hundreds. Well, you can do that restriction in this application. You can also have the premium sticker note right here. It's a marketing tool that they offer. So that's one thing to consider. But the other option, and probably the most powerful for free apps, is in-app advertising. So you'll see that we have several ad services. You can use Google Ad Manager, Facebook Ads, Google AdMob, and Google AdSense. So you can see how you can manage your campaigns and get this installed to work out managing your own ads. The notification portion is also very important. So if you want to send users push notifications, you have options here when you click push or send. So you can see how many notifications that you currently have. And then you can see all of the different options to target specific recipients. You also have the ability to schedule and view your history. Now, you do have the ability to look under statistics as well, and you'll see it's activated after your app is published, and you can learn more about the user base. And then you have My App here, which is where you would go to edit your application. And then lastly, the Publish section, which we basically already went over. So let's go through the actual app building process a little bit. So as you can see right here, we have a couple of different options for editing the application. So if we want to edit the style, for example, you can go through the process and really you need to figure out what you want your app to look like and kind of sketch it from there. So if we are deciding that we want to edit anything simple like colors and fonts. Maybe we don't like this specific orange font or color. We can go through here and you'll see as we choose different colors, it's automatically updating up here. I personally like bluer or light blue colors. So let's choose something like this. Now I've chosen that color, and you'll see that we could edit additional colors as well. So menu background, maybe we want this to be, let's just say a lighter blue. So we could choose this color as well. You can continue to do this for all of the remaining options, and you can also update your fonts. So let's change this to Arctic, and you'll see all of the fonts updated, and you can also change the sizing as well. So we have all of that set up, and we're going to just click Apply. So now that we've done colors and fonts, let's go through the process of editing some of the actual content itself. So we have quite a bit of, really just quite a few options here. So you'll see that we can edit the layout of the home page, and we can choose what pages we want to have visible. So we have social links, we have different widgets that we can edit. So as you're scrolling through, you'll see that right here we have our header block, and then we have latest articles. And when we scroll over each of these options, you'll see that we have the ability to edit or remove. So we'll scroll to the bottom, and you'll see that we have all of these different options. And right here we have what appear to be, I think, the happy memories. So let's delete this widget, and you'll see that now that section is gone. And we can continue to do that with other options as well. So if we have our content right here, let's scroll to the top and try to actually edit some of the content itself. So if we find out, okay, we want to have a sample fitness application, you'll see it has a widget blog for all categories. Now we can click Edit here, and then we can actually edit the content for that widget. So if we decide we want it to be horizontal, then now you have to scroll through for this. Or maybe we want to have this kind of minimal style or the banner. So you can choose any of that you want, and then you can choose the background color and the cell color here. And then you can choose the titles and other options. So you have quite a few different things that you can work with here. And then you'll see we have the writing date, info, number of items. So if we decided that we wanted this to be 2, we have 2 here. If we decide we want it to be 5, you'll see we will scroll through 5. And then you can customize the margins as well. But at this point, you have quite a few different options for content. So the source, this is where we actually have that content. So you'll see family life is this, quite a few of these different options or categories that we have. So right here we have family life, travel, family cooking, interior design. So if we want to edit family life, you'll see that we have this little pencil icon here, and you'll see that there's an option to reload. And then we can also do this with travel and family cooking. So when we click change, you'll see now it's going to, as we scroll through, show these different options for these different categories. So if we decide we want this to be travel, we click here, and you'll see that we now have travel related articles. And then you can click here to edit what this block actually says. So when we go back home, you'll see that we now have this block here. And again, if you want to go back in to edit it, you can just click edit and then go through and actually manage the content and things of that nature. So you have quite a few different content zones and different options. And then you can click on each to learn more about what that actual article is, what it says, etc. So you can click here to edit the content of that article. And you'll see that we have our image, our text. So if we wanted to put test, and then just scroll through, you'll see you have all these options and you can update your content here. But we can just put publish, and then we'll just put hey. So we're just adding in some very, very basic content. So we've updated this content. So we can continue to our content list and see all of those other articles here. So you can manage all of this content from this screen, as well as comments and adding content, etc. So let's go back to the app really quickly and see what that edit looks like. You'll see it says hey right here, and it says test, so the content was updated successfully. So it's relatively straightforward to actually get through the process of editing content. So you just click edit, choose what you're actually looking for, and when you hover over it, it will actually select or highlight in your preview what you're looking at. And again, you just click edit here, and as you're in the edit screen, you choose your article and actually begin the update process. So if we go to our actual tree, you'll see you can view these things in much more detail, like your app structure. But we're going to go back to my app. So in this case, what we want to do is maybe we want to delete everything and just start from scratch. So you'll see we can go to the layout of the home page and delete content until we are down to just the social links. So you'll see now we just have our header and our social links section. So we can edit the social links section and choose which icons and URLs are displayed. But another thing that we can do is we can add a widget and choose from here what we want. So I'll choose content, and then you can choose which sections. So we were previously using travel, so we can select that. And you'll see now we are back to this travel series here, and then we have our social links, which would appear right here, and we can just go back to our home screen and drag these to reorder them. And then you can delete content if you want. And again, you can go back to your structure screen and see the tree or list view. And you can also add in sections and add in specific features that you're interested in. Now, I think this is probably going to be one of my favorite things about the Goodbarber platform, and that's the add features or find features. So as we scroll through, you'll see we have tons of impressive options like WordPress, YouTube, RSS feeds. One of my all-time favorite, or two of my all-time favorites, are going to be custom code and then URL. This is going to give you the ability to actually enable your own code or display a web page in your app. So you have tons of different options for features that you can actually just add straight into your application. For example, if we wanted to add in my website, I could scroll through and click URL. And then from here, I could put https://codelessfix.com. And then you'll see that you have all of these options for updating this. And then we can just click add. Now at this point, you'll see navigating on this section redirects the user to codelessfix.com. And you'll see that we have our tree here with all of these different options. So when we go to our menu, we now have this URL section, which would load my website right here. So that's pretty much all of the features and functionalities. The high-level overview is you have your menu, you can edit these options, check your settings, and this is going to be what appears in this structure section here. The My App section is where you're going to edit the actual content of your app. If you ever get lost, you can always go to the edit menu, choose from these categories, and then choose from this screen what to do from there. But this is kind of that home page where you can edit the different content like your structure, or you can go through and edit the actual content of the app, which can also be done in the layout of the home section here. But as you're going through, you can choose options like vlogs, and you can actually edit the section settings and the section content from within this page. So all in all, it's a pretty powerful app builder and is definitely one of the more affordable options out there. I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comment box below, and I'll see you all in the next video.